Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, September 26th here. We're taking a look at the SPY. Actually, let's take a look at those futures. We know that they are off. We have a strengthening U.S. dollar, and the German-British pound is just kind of plunging here. It's near some pretty dramatic lows. We're going to keep a really close eye on that. The stronger the U.S. dollar, the harder it is for other countries to buy our goods, other people to buy our goods, thus the reason for the dip. When we think about it, you know, a lot of times we look at it just kind of generically and we're like, oh, good, a strong dollar. It's great if you're traveling, because if you're taking your dollar elsewhere and purchasing things, it's great. When it goes the other way, not good at all. We are seeing the U.S. Increase against the yen as well. So a lot of currency issues going on. We also know that the UK is looking at a tax cut. So we'll see what a tax cut package. So we'll kind of see what that looks like and how that kind of weighs on our market, or if it does at all. But definitely, depending on what's in there, we'll take a look at that. So far, we are inside the tail of Friday. Now we are at some pretty good levels here, pretty decent support levels, and really coming down to that 36.39 is the next one. And then when we look at the SPY, hold on here, there we go. Dang it, I put that in there wrong. And when we look at the SPY, we're at 365.60 right now. So with that, we are still above this support from 360.217. That's our next lowest support. We're just kind of hanging out right in here. But again, below this trend line for now, a smidgen. In the pre-market, this is what we watch in the morning, maybe a low put in, but I'm really concerned about this gap that we have right here. And if I stretch this out just a smidgen, push this up, you can see that gap. It's not a huge gap, but still a gap that we have to be worried about at 359.17. So keep an eye on that area. If we start to fall after market opens, we may go smack that gap and then fill it and then hopefully bounce off of that, but of course we don't know. And there is actually another gap below there. Gaps are important, especially on like a SPY or an index, because they're often filled at some point. So this other gap goes way back here to November of 2020. So beginning of November. It looks like November 5th to 6th of 2020. So just after this, so this is coming out of the pandemic, right? Okay, so this gap here, and we've talked about this for a long time, this move here, this line goes just to that gap, and this was the initial pandemic move. Just like to measure some of those things. Does it mean that we're going there? No, it doesn't mean that we're going there. But I'm telling you, a lot of times these things do there's symmetry in the market for the most part. And so if we want to see that symmetry, it would make sense that we come back and fill this gap as well. And then there's this one way down here. Okay. All right. So enough on that. Let's take a quick look at today's markets. Let's put this back on the chart. You know, I'm going to be a bit cautious here. I took on Lilly and J&J last week. I held both of those. They are red pre-market, but they don't do very much pre-market. It's on ridiculously low volume, like maybe 1,000 shares, which is not much at all. When you're looking pre-market, if something's moving like 20, 30,000, yeah, now you're starting to get my attention. And of course, over about 50, 75,000. That is what would really get my attention. These are moving on really, really light volume. So we'll assess those depending on market weakness, but I really like these two particular plays. And let's hop into a few other names real quick. I didn't type these out because I do have a Foster that I'm getting ready to say goodbye to. And so I'm a little bit pressed for time, so I didn't really type these out. But keep an eye on SAVA. Again, big news, took a break. Big news, took a break. But open candle, and we are inside this candle here this morning. And let's see if this has any more juice in it. It seems like it's been, you know, continuing strength. The SEC, it's found no reason to investigate, which is what really caused that bump. And continuing on here, so keep an eye on that. Just a day trade on SAVA. So when our market is a little bit more rough, we look at names like General Mills. So prepackaged foods, everybody's still going to be eating Cheerios, so to speak. We had a nice gap up on earnings and flagging. This looks like a really nice daily bull flag. Even with the downside close on Friday, I still like the look of this. And being in that consumer staples, consumer defensive type area, keep an eye on the bull flag there in GIS. We saw a couple U-turns or reversals there on Friday, Chewy being one of them on some decent volume. We went through the lows, pushed back up, a little bit of support because we have the gap that's here. We touched the top of this gap. I don't have it marked in, and shame on me for not doing it, but we touched into this gap a little bit. So we may press down a little bit more, which would take us right to this Fibonacci line, and then push up, but definitely for a reversal play. Today it reversed on Friday, so today it would be a continuation. Keep an eye on Chewy. Some of those, there we go. Some of the solar names. First Solar has been incredibly strong. We dipped below that 20, but caught pretty quickly, trying to reach back up into that 20. So look for a reversal in FSLR as well. Lithium, right? So it caught down here at a Fibonacci line. We do have this gap, but tried fighting most of the day to get back up and make a positive move. Now, it wasn't going to go green because we still have this gap, but keep an eye on LTHM. I like this one as well. And there was another one. Dang it. Hold on. I don't know where it is. It's in this list somewhere. Oh, another drug name. Sorry. ABBV. So the XLV sector really probably helping with this. But ABBV, look at this nice tight moving averages. We came up over the 50. The 20 is curling up nicely, so keep an eye on ABBV. Now with the weakening dollar, look for more just day trade downside plays in some of these techs. Like AMD, it is sitting actually right inside the Friday's candle, so it could go either way. If we do see a bit of a rally because we are incredibly oversold, AMD to the upside. Otherwise, we may see some more downside pressure in AMD and a lot of those tech stocks. NVIDIA obviously would be one. That one tried to fight back, made a little bit of a reversal, but again, these are tough to say either way which way they are looking to go, and so you want to be on your toes for any of these. FDX, after being squished after their outlook, look for a recovery in this one. So they had earnings, they released them during the day, which was really odd. On Thursday, Friday, down with the market, but look now on incredibly oversold conditions just for a bounce in FDX here today, which means UPS may go right along with it, so keep an eye on that one as well. Yeah, and then more downside pressure in oil and energy, which is kind of interesting to me, given everything geopolitically what's going on, but oil itself is continuing its slide here in the pre-market. Now we have seen the slide pre-market and then it bounce up during the day, but when it starts the day green, it seems like it turns red. So kind of works on this teeter-totter of effect here. So keep an eye on energy for any potential reversal. Again, into winter, energy is usually a pretty decent play. All right, but for the most part this morning, going to sit back, sit tight, and see if we can push back up. We're coming up, we're putting in some higher lows, but not really higher highs yet. Don't ignore this tall wick. This is just a bad tick reading, but 366 seems to be the level that we can't seem to get through right now. You can see that right here. We used it. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, that's a lot of candles on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles on that. So 366. Remember round numbers in this, or the whole dollar numbers. in the SPY are usually areas of support and resistance. So obviously 366 resistance, 365 support. And again, keep an eye on that gap to the downside and see if we get a flash push down through it and then maybe come back up. Trading against a lot of programs and algo levels around here, so be very, very cautious. All right, that is it from me here this morning. If you have any questions, reach out, heatherc@givingtreetrading.com, and I will be back for the open, but this is all I have for you as of right now. Okay, have a great day.